The Authors Book Club is thrilled to be hosting our first Plots and Pandemic event. Thank you for joining us. It's our intention to keep this event as interactive as possible and encourage you to engage with the author and with each other. Our moderator today is Fiona Ross, a teacher-librarian and book club consultant with the Authors Book Club. Fiona is an avid reader and a current member of 2 book clubs. She is the past chair of the Secondary Fiction Review Committee at the Peel District School Board and currently serves on the Planning Committee at the Festival of Literary Diversity, The Fold. Our guest author today is David Albertyn. He is originally from South Africa and immigrated to Toronto in 1993. A graduate of Queen's University and the Humber School for Writers, Undercard, published by House of Anansi, is his debut novel. Undercard has since been released internationally by HarperCollins Germany and HarperCollins France and has been optioned for film and TV. David is also a tennis coach who has competed extensively in both tennis and track and field.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining this. I'll just do a short reading. 8:34 p.m. A gloved fist catches Antoine beneath the ribs, and the air pops from his lungs. He's surprised his insides don't come out too. His opponent swoops in to finish him off. Antoine sees the counter to be made, but his body betrays him. All it can do is clinch his enemy and hold on for dear life. Antoine's face is tight, closed against the pain in his abdomen. It will pass, he tells himself, what he always tells himself when confronted with physical pain. But he has thought this too many times over the last 5.5 rounds, and the pain continues to accumulate. His ribs are in agony now. Knudsen tries to break free. Antoine clings tighter, knowing it will mean the end if he lets go. He does this as a drowning man, as he cannot get air back into his lungs. The ref breaks them apart, and Knudsen lunges forward, swinging a haymaker at his chin. Antoine covers up, and the blow ricochets off his gloves. The bell rings. There's no nod from the man this time. He glares at Antoine, disgusted that the bell has saved him from certain defeat. With his swollen eyes and his blood-filled eyeball, Antoine's opponent looks hideous, fearsome. Antoine stares back at him, but inwardly he is shocked that he wants to look away. He has never been afraid in a fight before. Afraid of losing, perhaps, but never truly afraid. Not afraid for himself, not afraid of pain. It sickens and worries him, this fear he feels now. He walks to his corner while Knudsen remains in the middle of the ring, staring him down. The ref eventually nudges the enemy to his own corner, and the man reluctantly saunters away. Slumped on his stool, with Simon doing his best to revive him, Antoine wonders what he will do now. The juice didn't work. It wounded the beast instead of killing it, while it left Antoine physically and mentally spent. What now? There must be a way. There is always a way. But he is out of ideas. Or perhaps there are ideas in there, but his brain is too muddled to go looking. Antoine blinks. Alejandro is crouched before him, snapping his fingers in front of his eyes. Unlike most trainers, Alejandro talks sparingly to Antoine during a fight. They agree that Antoine should know what he is supposed to do and must be left to execute it without distraction. Only when Antoine strays from the plan, forgetting some detail or weakening in his resolve, does the old man step in to take command. The scarcity of his words makes them ring all the louder in Antoine's ears. Sobrino, he says, for he calls Antoine nephew. It is one more round that you need. No more. He is tired, I see it. He is too angry to notice yet, but I see it. You have done well to hurt him and anger him. He will come after you all round. And you, Sobrino, you keep him chasing. Take the counter when it is there, but keep him chasing. Rest as much as you can. Round 8 is when you strike. Antoine's eyes lock onto the old man's. It is something to have someone believe in you, to see it in their eyes. Antoine nods. The old man smiles. He gives a gentle slap to Antoine's cheek. 5% better, Alejandro says. No mas. Antoine closes teeth around the mouthguard Simon offers. The bell rings. 8:37 p.m. You can do it, Antoine, Naomi screams. She is aware of the neighboring Richies eyeing her with distaste. Even Ricky seems for once to be giving her some distance. Let them judge. If there's any way to help her boy win this battle, she will take it. Antoine, you can do it. And then, half to piss off those glaring at her and half because the words are broiling within her and need to get out, she cries loudest of all, beat this fucker. Others ahead of her, inspired by her ferocity perhaps, call out Antoine's name, shout words of encouragement. She wills their cries to inspire those lower down, so that her message may descend that long way to the ring where Antoine is fighting for his life. The arena is immense, no sky above. It feels to her like a cavernous hall, burrowed into the roots of some great mountain. No night, no day, only the teeming masses in their sealed-off tomb, clamoring for violence. A scent of blood in the air. No wind here to scatter her away. It saturates her breath. We are a mob, she thinks. A mob closed off from the rest of the world. A mob drunk on brutality. But this is indeed a brutal fight. Even in escape, Antoine keeps going after Knudsen's head, keeps knocking his brain onto a collision course with the inside of his skull. There is an inflamed lump near Knudsen's right temple, almost the size of a golf ball and growing, the product of an inadvertent headbutt. Naomi can see it in gory detail on the gigantic screen above the ring. Antoine is bleeding from a cut above his left eye and another from his lower lip. And then there is the sweat sliding off each of them, sweat cascading when a fist hits its mark, all of it sustenance to the mob. Drunk on liquor, a fervor is waiting to take hold of them. Thank you.
Hi, David. Thank you so much for joining us. So we're going to maybe ask a few questions, and I wanted to say thank you for sending me a copy of your book. And as the book club consultant, I'm going to give a recommendation to the book clubs who might watch this promotion video. And that is, don't judge a book by its cover. The book is, undercard's a boxing term. And if you look here, I'm going to see if I can show up the book here. It's a boxing ring at the top. And it's not a book that probably book clubs, which are often women, would pick up because of the title or perhaps the boxing the picture. And I want to assure book clubs that it's not just about boxing. And in fact, the boxing is probably only 1/3 of the book. And then it goes in a very different direction. And really, this book is about friendship and community and who values what with whom, I think do you think that's a fair analysis, David?
Yes, 100%. Yeah, thanks so much, Fiona.
So you should definitely not judge a book by the cover, and it's a really great book club book because there's lots going on, and there's very interesting and engaging characters, and there's a plot line which it's about way more than boxing. I don't want to give any spoilers, but way more than boxing. So to the writing, David. The other thing that I wanted to quickly say to book clubs is that on David's website, which he will give us in just a second, are a bunch of discussion questions that support the book, and they are excellent, and I really like them, and I can't use any of them for this, so I have come up with my own because I don't want to do any spoilers for the actual plot. So David, what is your website, please?
So it's just my name.com, davidalbertyn.com, David, ALBERTYN.com is my website. And if you go to the book page, you'll find there's the link on that page to the Undercard Reader's Guide.
There we go. And it's great. And obviously, this can all be found on our website, too, at www.authorsbookclub.ca. So when it comes to writing, the term that I have heard used is that there's plotters and there are pantsers. And plotters are the people who meticulously diagram and put out the plot and, and basically then just go back and fill it in because they already know everything that's going to happen. And a pantser is somebody who just sits down and writes. And they get a book somehow. I don't know quite how that happens. But so my question to you is, when it comes to undercard, were you a plotter or a pantser? And yeah, that's my question, please.
Right. Well, so with undercard, I was a plotter. So I would say for me, it depends on the project. So the current thing I'm working on, I'm actually a pantser, but funny terms, saying them out loud, calling yourself a pantser, but undercard was definitely a plotter. And the main reason I think for that is because I really, I love, a great twist in books. I feel like, a great twist in anything, movie, TV, play. But there's something about when you're reading a book and it's like, there's just like one sentence, you read a sentence and suddenly you get chills down your spine. I've just found that for me, as a reader, one of the most amazing experiences, you know what I mean? That it's just a sentence can do that to you. So when I've come across something like that, it's such a great experience for me. And I'd never really done that or really tried that before. And I just knew with this story, I wanted to have a great twist. So I knew to put it all together, to have it come in an organic way, but really build properly in a strong verisimilitude, that it all made sense and worked and built to this really strong twist. I needed to have that twist planned from the start before I started writing, and make sure that everything coordinated going forward. So for that reason, I was a plotter, and I had kind of the key moments of the book mapped out, even though a lot came out over the course of the writing and the research.
Thank you. So I know when you talked about having the sentence that sent shivers down your spine, in fact, your last sentence of the whole book did that for me. And I don't think I'm giving away a spoiler in the book, but the last line is, I would like to hunt again. And I'm not going to say who says it or anything like that. So my question becomes, is there a sequel to this book, and or what's next for Undercard?
Right. At the moment, there's no sequel planned. I don't know if I'll ever write a sequel. I mean, there is some room there to go that way, but I'm not sure if I will. But at the moment, it has been optioned, and it's kind of gone quite a few steps along in the process of moving towards potentially a TV series. So people are working on that. People in that side of the arts and entertainment world are working on that. So hopefully it does come to fruition and becomes a series, and then perhaps in the second season, someone else could, the screenwriters could take it from there. So that's next on Undercard. And then for me, I'm working on a novel, and I'm really excited about it. It's a bit different to Undercard. It's a lot funnier, and it's a lot more sex. So and it's more tennis world than is that the sort of sports element. So, but still crime fiction, still some murder, but less thriller, more kind of mystery, but again, mostly relationships. So that's kind of fun.
So I have to go. So if it gets it's being in the process of being optioned, do you have any actors in mind for any of the key roles?
Right. Well, if it goes it is option, but yeah, if it goes.
Yeah, if it goes all the way.
Yeah, no. It's funny, people ask, but I feel like I'm not going to have a say in choosing.
So that's why it makes the question more fun, because you won't.
I feel like it's just like tantalizing, you know what I mean? But people have said to me, it's funny because they're 32, and you wonder, a lot of the actors who are like, really prominent that you think of, or maybe I wonder if they're young enough to play these roles. But one of my friends he just listened to an audiobook. The audiobook's really good, by the way. I love the audio. The narrator did an amazing job. But he thought for Ricky Kevin Hart, and I think that's actually a great casting. I think Ricky is Kevin Hart, and then someone said Mahershala Ali as Tyron. I mean, that would be really cool. Although I don't know if he'd play 32 now, but that he'd be amazing, and then. I don't know, Naomi. I don't know, maybe Rosario Dawson, but Naomi.
Is the Reef real? When you went, because you talked about you've been to Vegas. Is the Reef real, or is this a place that is completely in your imagination?
The Reef I designed, but it kind of from my research of all the casinos. Yeah, that was actually kind of fun. I mean, I felt like that was a bit of like real world building, like a fantasy or sci-fi author could. Yeah, so the Reef is the casino resort on the Vegas Strip, where all the action takes place. And but the whole idea, and it's really aquarium themed, and it's like basically like the Great Barrier Reef is like the theme, because all these casinos. So that's there are like some aquarium type stuff, and one has had dolphins, and one had aquarium with sharks, and one's got like a small aquarium, but the Reef is completely mine. Yeah.
I loved it. I kept waiting for a shark to feature, but that's another plot. That's another plot twist that we can talk about another time.
Actually, there were some like more out there ideas I had that I kind of wanted to try. Someone diving into an aquarium and escaping with sharks and stuff. But there's some of these ideas that it's it will hurt verisimilitude, but it's a cool idea, and you kind of got to think. So I sort of edged on the more trying to keep it as kind of like plausible and kind of intense as possible without going too big. But I would like to like write a larger kind of action story where I can go a little bigger with the